Hello, welcome to another sketchbook video crawl. This is my 20th sketchbook that goes in my pocket, and it was from November 12th to January 16th of this year. So let's start out. This is my small palette, which I keep in my pocket. I wonder if I have it. Yeah, here it is. It's in an old Sucrets box. The palette has changed a little since this started. Anyways, back in November, this was in a ramen store on 2nd Avenue, I think, in Manhattan, when you could still eat inside, but socially distanced. There's a Korean grocery store in Woodside that I like to walk to, and this is the 7 train up above, and outside seating at a diner there. The Long Island Railroad also comes through this way. This is sitting in my neighborhood independent cafe, Espresso 77. This is under a tent, looking across the sidewalk to the entrance to the coffee shop. I went into Manhattan to Union Square, and this drawing shows a building where they're putting a big dome on top, and this is the W Hotel, and instead of going up to about here, I shortened it so it would fit into the picture. I read in the New York Times about a Korean restaurant in the East Village called No One, and it's a Korean-American guy who tries to combine the best of Korean food with some sort of bistro type stuff. It was an interesting place. This is sort of an experimental picture. They were doing COVID-19 testing on 82nd Street in Jackson Heights, and it was the late afternoon, so the sun was glancing in from the side and even on the buildings way in the back. So I kept painting and painting. This is on 14th Street in Manhattan, one of those interesting old brick buildings with panels and decoration, and this is ubiquitous scaffolding, which we find in New York. They're always repairing something. This was at our farmer's market. I was really interested. These people are probably Tibetans, and they are part of one of the stalls in a farmer's market that sells vegetables. So they come in those crates, and they just pulled up some crates and took a little time to share a morning coffee and maybe a donut or something. This kind of human sharing really appeals to me. It reminds me of my days in Korea when we'd be out doing whatever kind of health center work we were doing. We would have these moments like this. This is on Central Park West. It's the Museum of Natural History. Back in my neighborhood in Jackson Heights, this woman, we have a lot of South Asian people here, and some of the markets have moved out onto the street. So I took a trip out to Eastern Long Island to visit my friend Susan, and there was a construction site, and I like tractors and dumpsters and that kind of thing. And it was a rainy day. My Urban Sketchers group, they don't meet officially, so some of us went to the Noguchi Museum in Long Island City, And this is actually a model for a full-scale slide that is also a sculpture. I think it was built in Japan eventually. Also in the Noguchi Museum, I grabbed a window and did the buildings across the street. This is actually the back entrance of a Costco. Back in my neighborhood cafe, Espresso 77, looking up towards 37th Avenue. This is a school, PS 69, I believe. Barbershop. The sketchers once again met in Grand Central Station, and I did this picture. And sometimes when I'm not satisfied, I do pictures again. So this is the same scene, but done at home on a bigger sheet of paper. Trying to bring out some of the different things that I saw. During the epidemic, I like to get out, and so I took the PATH train. It's like a subway train that goes all the way to Newark, and this is Penn Station of Newark, and it's very Art Deco-y with the columns and the decoration. Another day I got on this is actually on the Staten Island ferry waiting to leave, and you can see the Statue of Liberty way off across the harbor, as well as the terminal for the railroads when they used to go across the river by ferry. And a little local guy. So I also have been trying to work on my skills with people, and on YouTube there's lots of things to look at. This is a group called Inalchi, which is a group that combines traditional Korean music, pansori, with kind of a rock beat. And so I really got into that, and I love their clothes. Also, so on YouTube, I've been watching some looking back at things from my youth. This is from Judy Holliday and Dean Martin in Bells Are Ringing, and I really like that movie because Judy Holliday sang "The Party's Over" with such feeling, and sometimes the party is over and then it's time to move on. I also was looking back, this is from a movie, Topper, and which was made into a television show. And this is Leo G. Carroll and his wife, who was Topper, and his wife Henrietta, and their Swedish maid. So back to the sketchbook. After Christmas, the park across the street, they brought a mulcher to the park, and everybody brought their Christmas trees there, and they all went into the mulcher, turned into mulch for people's gardens. I also got a chance to use my neon pen for the construction vests and the little traffic stanchions there. This is sort of pulling back and looking at the park over here and the trucks and the street that's been closed off. Another nostalgia trip. This is Amos and Andy television show from 1952. Their Christmas show when Andy's daughter, Arbadella, wanted a talking doll that actually looked like her. and I know a lot of people, a lot of African Americans resented the show, but I really loved it. Amos was a really nice guy. He was a worker, a taxi driver, and the choir that sang the music was just beautiful, beautiful. This I was wandering around in Greenwich Village looking for tea, but this is a little. There was a place that actually had coffee and could sit on the street. One more nostalgia thing. This is from the movie The Apartment with Jack Lemmon and Shirley MacLaine, and it's the very last scene when she comes and really realizes that she is in love with him and he loves her, and he declares his love, and she says, "Shut up and deal." So this is a Hindu temple in Corona, or Elmhurst, which is right next to my neighborhood. It's when I went walking with my friends. And I also want to just show this too. This is a scene from Venice. They have like a 24-hour cam that you can just see people walking in all hours of the day, and it's very, very loose. And here's another picture, very different. This is very, very tight. I was out volunteering, handing out literature to wear masks in Jamaica, and I ran across this old gas station with the beautiful tiles and ornamentation that's still in use. So that's the end of my sketchbook crawl for this time.